What's going on, vinyl community? Welcome to another video with the record spinner. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how you can make your very own 10-inch record outer sleeve. Now, when it comes to collecting vinyl, a vast majority of the people go for the 12 inches and the 7 inches, and of course there are sleeves widely available for those formats. But that's not to say that there aren't 10-inch sleeves available out there. If you happen to collect the 78 RPM records, or you just happen to have a lot of 10-inch records to begin with, there are sleeves available out there that you can buy in bulk, and of course I highly suggest that you pick them up if you have a lot. But if you're a collector like myself that only gets 10-inch records every so often and not regularly, I think this video will do you very well. This is a very cheap and inexpensive way to do it, so the materials that you'll need is a standard 12-inch record outer sleeve. You will need scissors, tape, some form of writing utensil, and a ruler or straight edge. So with all that said, let's jump into what this video is all about. Alright, so the record that we're going to be making a sleeve for is the Jethro Tull Moths Record Store Day release. So the first thing you do, obviously, is you put it in the sleeve just like so, and just try to get it into the one corner, and that way it stays there. I also do suggest that you get a sort of hard surface to do this on, because you don't want to damage the actual tabletop surface or whatever you're going to be doing this on. So just get a basic food cutting board and you'll be fine. So once it's in like that, you're going to take your straight edge object. I didn't have a ruler on hand, so I'm using this little pamphlet as a straight edge. And what you do is you're going to take your marker, your pen, whatever. I would suggest marker because Sharpies can be a little bit easier to track the ink onto the sleeve. That can be your cutting guidelines. What you're going to do is you're going to draw a line which indicates where you're going to cut it. And you don't want to go too snug or too tight with this because you want to give it room to breathe. That's the one thing that you want to do. See, I don't know if you can really see on camera, but it's coming across nicely, and it's going to have plenty of room. So that's what you want to do. And of course, make sure that it is straight aligned with the record itself. So you just do that. If you have good steady hand, then this will be easy for you. So just like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors, and you're just going to try to cut along the lines. You could probably take the record out for this. I would suggest that way you don't damage the sleeve, perhaps. And you're just going to cut it like this. Not much else to say as I'm cutting. But that's basically it. And then if you're able to recycle and reuse the scraps of the sleeves, you can go ahead and do that. I just usually throw them out because I don't know what I'm going to use them for. So you can discard this, and then we'll put your record back in the sleeve like so. Now, it's not so much of a clean cut because as you can tell that you can maybe still see a little bit of the Sharpie on there, but not too big of a deal, too much. So once you get the record back into its corner, what you're going to do is, because usually I like to have a little bit of a flap on the top of my records. That's usually how all my sleeves are. So what you'll do is you'll take your straight edge again, and you'll just kind of make a little flap. And just draw along the sides like that. Just like so. There you go. And then same thing, you can take the record back out. And then you just cut along the lines like so. And you'll get a much better cut if you use the straight edge because I've actually made sleeves. I've made another 10-inch sleeve for another record I had. And the top kind of came a little uneven because I was just kind of going by what I thought the measurement should be. So it really does help if you use the straight edge. So you can see a little bit of it still up here, but it's nothing too bad. So then what you do is you put it back, and right off the bat it looks okay. It looks not bad. It's a little uneven, so you can go ahead and kind of touch up on that, try to refine it a little bit. Because if you're really if you have a little bit of OCD and you want to make it completely even, you can go ahead and just fix it. But to each their own. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Sometimes, this is why I said to have the cutting board, because sometimes you can just take the blade of the scissor and just try to cut alongside it if the scissors are actually sharp enough to do that. Not so much for mine. So we'll just do that. There we go. Just like that. And it looks kind of more even, sort of. So you put it back in. And then this is the last final step that you're going to do. Just keep that record in place. And then you are going to take your tape and tape up the edge right here. Now, I would suggest using transparent tape because I'm just using this basic Scotch tape. This is all I have at the moment. The transparent tape the tape marks won't be as evident on the sleeve, whereas this might, but you know, just a little side note, I would suggest doing that. So you take your tape and you're just gonna get it halfway on the sleeve because you're gonna use the other half to tape up the other side. And of course, side note, if you have long hair, you might want to tie it back, that way the tape doesn't get stuck to your hair. So you do that. And just get all along the side. And then if anything, if you want to make sure that it's on securely, give it a nice little press down, go across. Now, we're going to flip it over, just like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold that across. Just like that. Just fold it across. That way it reaches the other side and it kind of closes off the sleeve. So there you go. So as you can tell right here, there's a little bit of room for it to breathe, which is nice because you don't want to go too tight, because then if it gets a little too tight, it could warp the record and whatnot. And then of course, if you have a little bit of excess tape that's kind of hanging on the edge, just take your scissors and snip it like that, and there you go. See, you can kind of see what I mean when I say use transparent tape, because obviously you can see the tape edge, but it's not too horrible. So that right there is how you make your very own 10-inch record outer sleeve. If this video was of good use for you and it was very helpful, please let me know by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. See you guys in the next video, and most importantly, keep the record spinning.